Last time on Mega Man Battle Network, we were introduced to the World Wide Web, and now... Well, I was gonna say snacks, but that doesn't bode well at all. And now the panic music sets in, because... our house is on fire.
Oh no, somebody hacked our oven.
She tried to make hot cakes, and now they're too hot.
I almost said fridge, which is the exact opposite of what happened.
Yeah, actually the fridge is doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what your problem is.
It's got our drawings pinned to it and everything.
Yeah, they haven't caught fire at all. Alright, so let's jack into the oven. And this is a pretty unique looking place. So yes, this is our first dungeon, or network equivalent to it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he says that there just in case you haven't seen a Mr. Prog before, except you would have had to see a Mr. Prog before, so I don't know why he's so worried. That's probably just the paranoid Mr. Prog.
Old paranoid Prog, they call him.
Alright, so we got to find the oven control program. Unfortunately, stuff is on fire, which means we can't just walk to it. Well, we can walk to it, but not the straight direction. We don't get a motorcycle or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No e-cycle.
Oh no, we gotta get around the firewall.
Why does an oven have this? Oh, gross, shotgun Q.
I'm the first person to make that joke about this stage.
Yep, nobody's done it before. Anyway, here's a tutorial for virus busting. You know that thing you've definitely done by now? Alright, let's see what virus could possibly require us to have a tutorial. It's a Matar. It's one Matar. It's dead. And we only got a busting level 9. Fuck you. Literally less than a second, one hit, and I didn't get busting level S. Go to hell. Oh god. Mega Man Zero's the series known for its difficulty, but man, the ranking here is even ruder than Zero. If you've played the later games, you might be confused as to why you can just open this purple, data thing. I don't know either. For some reason, some of them are just purple. Oh no! Oh no, he's dead.
Oh no.
Rip. Fucking murdered a Mr. Prog.
Frog's being sent to a farm upstate where you can play with all the other Mr. Frogs.
No, no.
Being sent to a Wi-Fi connected farm upstate.
So yeah, if I remember correctly, we're actually not going to see any new enemies. Okay, so here we have the main gimmick of the dungeon. Typically, dungeons in Mega Man Battle Network games either focus on movements and, like, finding a specific path through an area, or resource. Oh, well, I'm interrupted here. Rip. And then our oven exploded. Somehow we're fine.
It's me, the oven burning man.
Oh my god, it was him all along. Who could have... I can't believe you guessed that, Loka. He's a terrorist all along. Nobody suspected that. You're pretty smart. No, he's not.
You're pretty smart for figuring out exactly what I just told you, explicitly.
So apparently somebody locked the door from the outside as well. I guess he just put a chair in front of our house. So we can't contact Mega Man, so that's bad. So in order to put out the fire on the internet, we've got to put out the fire in real life. Let's get water gun. Alright, time to solve most of our problems.
Land, this is an electrical fire. No!
It's fine! All E-fire can be put out by water.
I'm assuming it's an electric stove because it's connected to the internet, and the idea of, like, a gas stove connected to the internet it's too dumb. I refuse to accept that.
I mean, in the cyber future, some people are still gonna want their, gas stoves.
I guess.
But they also want to connect to the internet with it for... Actually, nobody wants that, but companies will just make that happen. So, as I was saying before, some Mega Man dungeons are based on movement and getting around an area, others are based on resources. This one's sort of a combination because we have a specific number of ice blocks, and we need to use a few of them to put out fires in specific spots in order to make progress. If we run out of ice cubes, we have to go back to the Mr. Prog, but of course at that point the fire will reset. So, if you don't have a map, then it's basically just a trial and error thing. I typically find that the resource ones are not my favorite dungeons. I prefer the movement ones, like Mega Man Battle Network 6 has a lot of movement dungeons, and there's some of the easier dungeons, but I find there's some of the more fun ones, or at the very least the less tedious ones. And then there's some resource ones that are just real bad. Like, again, if you haven't played 5, you have no frame of reference for this, but I remember hating the ninja one.
I don't like this dungeon because I want to put out, like, both fires on a hallway path.
Uh-huh.
But that's a really bad thing to do.
Yeah, you could not get through the dungeon if you did that, so can't put them all out. Can't spread the repulsion gel all over the entire room. Ah yes, mischief of burning people's houses down.
And then locking the doors so they burn to death along with the house.
How did you say says like that? Woo!
Woo!
It's certainly a battle cry.
Plays the sound clip from Little Jaws Get Low.
I think you're gonna need to work on that opening line, guys. Alright, so, Fireman. Bad idea to fight him first in Mega Man 1, but you got no choice here. Thankfully, he's really simple. He does not attack frequently, and when he does, which, considering he gets stunned all the time, I assume he'll have to move eventually, right? Guess we can show off Lil Bomb here. Not much more damage than, you know, the standard grenade. That was just a straight shot. We were well clear of it. God, you're worse than Gutsman. But yeah, Lil Bomb, same amount of depth as the mini bomb, same amount of damage, but it does actually hit the entire column when it lands, which can be helpful for hitting multiple enemies, or doing something like this. Now that one will actually track you. However, didn't really help him, and somehow that was only busting level 9. Okay, sure. He wasn't that bad, Mr. Match. Yeah? Okay.
Step 1. Fire.
Oh no, he was just looking for a very specific program, which for some reason was in our oven.
Okay.
Also, that's a fucking hell of a line.
Soon
War
will.
is going to start and you'll all die, child. Lan is in, like, I think 4th or 5th grade. So, hell of a thing to say to a kid like that.
When did this come out?
Early 2000s, baby.
Yeah, that was the point where a lot of 4th and 5th graders were concerned about war breaking out and everyone dying. Or at least I was.
Yeah, I mean, that was our first time fighting terrorists, but we did a pretty good job. Honestly, World 3 ain't shit. Alright, so we're not gonna actively go after them, but if any World 3 members get close to us...
Alright, Mega Man, you just start firing your buster, and if anyone walks in, it's their fault.
It's their fault. Also, there's a pun back there. Just a little bite, which is impossible to really notice that when you're talking with your voice. It's a good thing this is a text medium, Lan. I mean, you never know. So yeah, pretty good job.
You never know, but Dog know.
Dog does know. I hope the future you see is a good one, Dog. So that's our first time fighting terrorists. Next time on Mega Man Battle Network, we probably won't do that again.
You go kick that soccer ball off the balcony.